Good morning. Good morning, and welcome to the free training series on NetFlow Analyzer. So today we will be looking into the first part of the two-part series, which is getting the initial settings right. So a quick brief about myself. I am Deepak Suresh, product specialist for NetFlow Analyzer. I do handle potential customers who are looking to evaluate our product. So we talk to them about how our product can meet the requirements and so. And also, I also work with esteemed customers who have already purchased a product, and we help with any day-to-day issues that they might come up with. So with all that knowledge, I thought we would be best to share it over this training series. With that being said, let's dive right into today's agenda. So first we'll be looking into what exactly is a NetFlow Analyzer. So what the product is, what it can do, and what are the features that is there. We'll also be looking into how to get started with the product. So getting started as in, let's say you are looking to evaluate this product, what you should be doing in order to go ahead and start this at, to install it in your setup. How NetFlow Analyzer is able to do the network traffic analysis. We'll be looking into the different reports within the NetFlow Analyzer product. We will also be looking into the different customization options that we provide so that you can streamline the experience with our product. Issue identification. So if in case there is any real-time issue that is happening, you can go ahead and identify it within few seconds, which is available with our products in the alerts. We'll also be looking into the distributed monitoring, which is will be a tool again where you can monitor multiple sites just from the same UI. So that's there in the agenda. So diving right into the first topic, which is what is NetFlow Analyzer. So NetFlow Analyzer is your one-stop solution for bandwidth monitoring. When I say bandwidth monitoring, this is going to be in-depth where you can get to analyze different kind of flows by let's say it can be Cisco's NetFlow. We have different devices that work with SFlow, Juniper for JFlow, IPFix, NetStream, AppFlow, and you name it, we will be able to monitor that and have that shown up here. So what are the metrics that we show is like every single minute we can drill down and we can tell you what is the top Dockers. We can tell you about different sources related to the volume, the packets, the utilization, speed, and all of that. So all of this is possible by looking into the flows that you see on the screen. We not only like right from receiving it, we'll be able to process it and give you all the information that you need. So what are the different things that the product could do? So looking into the different feature set that we have. So first and foremost, we'll be able to talk to you about the bandwidth usage and speed across your network. This can be for different devices. This can be for different interfaces. So we'll break down the traffic in that way and show you the information. We also have information to talk to you about the traffic grouping, where you can group different entities like devices, interfaces, or even IP addresses. We have different kind of monitoring available in our product. Like we have the Cisco's AVC that lets you to monitor the layer 7 traffic. Wireless LAN controller traffic monitoring is available. You also have monitoring for IP SLA, where you can monitor the VoIP connections between IP SLA supported Cisco routers. We also have CPQoS monitoring. So class-based QoS monitoring is available in our tool where you can break down the traffic based on different classes of the QoS that is there. And we also have dedicated monitoring for Cisco's MediaNet and multicast that is there. And also we have one of our powerful tools within the product called as the Advanced Security Analytics, or in short, we call it the attacks module that can preemptively alert you if in case there's going to be any kind of attack that might come up in your setup, like DDoS attack or botnet attack or so. Just so starting with like first topic, how do you get started with NetFlow Analyzer? So these are the minimum system requirements that are needed in order to go ahead and install the product in our setup. because you're aware that NetFlow Analyzer is an on-prem solution. You will be installing it on either a Windows or a Linux machine with these minimal system requirements. That is, your processor should be a minimum of 3.2 gigahertz quad-core processor or anything more than that. A RAM could be with a healthy one of 6 GB to upwards to any number that you want. Again, the storage, we require a minimum basic of 200 GB, but anything more than that is appreciated. Our product comes bundled with PostgreSQL, but if you want to use external database, you have the option to work with MS SQL. So if you want to go ahead with that, we can provide you the steps, because if you're installing by default, Postgres is already there. You don't need to like manually set up anything. It will be done during the smooth initialization process. And our product works best with these two operating systems, Windows and Linux. All latest versions and all Windows Server editions are also covered. Different flavors of Linux is also covered there. So just to let you know that these specifications are applicable only when the raw data is turned off. So in our product, we have two types of data. Anything that is coming in, like any flow coming in, we call it the raw data. And if we process it and show you like the top entries, that's what we call aggregated. So if the raw data is turned off, and if the incoming flow rate, as in the flow packets coming in, are below 6,000 per second, then these are the requirements that would be there. If it's going to be more, please let us know. We will give you the customized system requirement for your setup. Yeah. So talking about the different options of how you can export the flow. Yeah, sorry, but just a quick reminder. If till now we'll be talking about the basics, but going forward we'll be discussing about the different features. So if you do have any questions, please go ahead and you can raise them over the questions panel available on your screen, just like the chat panel. You can ask your questions there. We have a group of panelists who are ready to answer your questions. And any interesting questions will be discussed by the end of the session. And also, this is a recorded session, so you will be getting the transcript and the presentation emailed to you after the session. So thank you. With that being said, we'll look into the flow export. So how do you go ahead and start the flow export from your end? So there are two ways of how you can do it. One is the traditional method of you logging into the device and then sending out the flows. Or you can do the other way around, which is going to be the easier way, because we have this thing called as the flow export or export flow within the product. So what it does is that if you let us know three details like the IP address, the SNMP credential, and the CLI credentials like the SSH or Telnet, we will be able to communicate with the device, find out what kind of device it is, and we'll be able to export the flow, or we'll be able to manually put in the commands for you over the session. So let me actually switch to my lab to show you how it is done. Okay, hope you can see my screen. So it's available under settings, discovery, export flow. So this is the one, predefined flow export. So the idea is you'll be providing the IP address, the SNMP credential. You can add a credential if you want to. It's available with the plus icon. You can add SNMP v1, v2, or v3. So the main goal is to let us know the read community. And once that is done, you can let us know what is the login details. So let me share that details. So it's an SSH, and okay. Okay, and I'll be providing the enable username. Just like you take a Puri to the machine, you'll be providing this detail. So enable and the password, let me quickly put that in. Okay, so now that I've provided the details, I'll just go ahead and click on next, where it'll do the three testing. One is for the ping to test whether the device is reachable. Second is going to be that SSH to communicate with the device to see how it works, whether you're able to do a connection or not. Once that is done, you also have the option to check the SNMP to identify what kind of device it is. So SNMP would be to, let's say if it's a Cisco router, then we can check which device it is. So Also, this is a new module within the tool. So we have like it for Cisco devices or so, and all the other like Ubiquiti, we have Avaya, Microtech. So all of these are like vendors we keep adding. So when I understand that it's going to be Cisco ISR, we will also have different variations within them because there are many ISR there. So it finds out the best match. It already puts in the export as an to which server IP, the 9996 port, or the interfaces. It's already found out using SNMP. So once that is done, all you have to do is just click on the export flow. So one single button, everything is going to happen on the back end. So we will now communicate with the device, run these commands on the device, and we will show you the output as of whether it is added or not. So this is going to save you a lot of time and manual labor because imagine writing all of these lines for all your devices. It's going to take up a lot of time. So you can simply use this method in order to go ahead and export the flows to your device. So talking about the different modules, we do have there's a very new function that has come up called as NetFlow Generator. This will be discussed in the next week's presentation, but just to give you a heads up, this feature lets you to monitor devices that actually don't support flow at all. So if you have devices that are very old, that do not have any kind of flow support, not a problem. You have NetFlow Generator, you can use that and you can monitor the traffic. So stay tuned for the next session to understand how this works, and will be discussed in person. So you can see that it's already been added. It says that the commands have been executed and the flows are received. So all I have to do right now is try to find out the device where it is under inventory, and you will see it under the devices. So you can see that I've already added, already SNMP has been enabled for the device, and we do see that the interface details is also updated. So as you can see, I have saved up a lot of time rather than taking a puri on the device, trying to type up each of the commands. I have already done it using the export flow. Yeah. So what are the different metrics that we show when it comes to the product is what we're going to discuss right now, the network traffic analysis. So talking about the first thing, which is the device traffic, because in our product, we show details in two ways. It can be in a device view and the interface view. Device view meaning this is a collective information across all your ports. We collect them all, and we'll be able to show you the top 10 entries. That is the device view. So for the same device, let me actually go ahead and check how the device traffic has been accumulated. So when you click on the inventory devices and click on the device name, it's going to take you to that particular device. So as you can see on the summary page, it gives you clear information of what kind of device it is. It tells you the details of the device. All of these fetched to SNMP. And this is with our latest module, you can actually see how the ports are connected. So this is the integration with the switch port mapper tool that we have. It's going to automatically find out what are the devices connected, which are the ports that are open. You can even see an information on all of this. So this again will be discussed in the next session. So please do tune in to understand how this works. Talking about the second thing, which is the traffic. So what happens here is that we show you the traffic for the last 1 hour. You have different time frames that you can select between like 6 hours, 24, if you want to see it for last week or for last month or last quarter, or even for a custom time period. So let's say I need to check the traffic that has happened on Monday between a particular hour. So all I have to do is select the time frame and go ahead and click on OK. So what happens is it's going to show you the graph, and all these tabs will correspond only to the time frame that you've selected. Yep. So coming to what are the interfaces that have been discovered on this device, it's in the interface tab. So you can see one major difference is the previous stuff was on a 10-minute average. This is on a 1-minute average, meaning interface level, you always see every single minute data for volume, speed, and utilization. This is for in and out. You can select them as per your choice. Talking about the application data. So this is like the top 10 information. As I said, whenever you see device view, it's only top 10 because we're trying to accumulate the information and show it to you. So as you can see, it's talking to me of the different top 10 applications that have been discovered. If you want to see the protocols behind them, just go ahead and click on the protocol. We'll be able to show you the protocols there. Sources, we'll talk to you about the top 10 sources here. So these are IP addresses that have been under, like, we know that these are the users who have been used it. To not understand who they are, just go ahead and click on the resolve DNS. So if your installed server can resolve the host names, we will already do it and show it to you. So you don't need to leave the product. It is already there for your disposal. You can also see the top 10 destinations access through this particular device. QoS is going to be the DHCPs that have been installed. You can see them. Conversation is going to talk to you about the top Dockers. So these are going to be not just top 10, the entire list talks to you about the different sources, what is the destination involved, the applications, and how much data has been used. And if your router supports BGP information, then we can show you the autonomous system details. We can break down traffic based on that and show you that information there. So all of this is for the device view. Let me take you to the interface view to see how it works. So interface traffic will now give you on a 1 minute average. It will tell you what are the data points for volume, speed, and utilization. So let me get to that. So as you can see, the traffic graph will be entirely different because this is going to show you both the in and the out at the same time. So as you can see, both in and out at the same time. And the best part is you can communicate with the graph. So if you want to see that particular dip alone, you can do that. The time frame will automatically change and will be affecting all the tabs. If you want to see a tab column of the information, it's available here. You can choose between volume, speed, and utilization. And if you want to take this graph and the tab column as a PDF or CSV, you have options for that. You can schedule this to run at a specific time, like daily, weekly, or monthly. Or you also have an option to email this as a report. So when you go to the interface level, everything is different. As I said, if you go to the application, this is not top 10, it's complete list. And you can see what are the applications that have been used so far. You can even drill down further and you can see the traffic that has been registered, and you can see that right there. You can also look into the top sources that have been sending out the traffic. So let me show it to you. So you can not only see which IPs, but you can even drill down further and get to the information of where they've been communicating to. So that's the idea behind looking into the transactions there. You can see the information between the destinations, so top destinations accessed, the QoS as in the DSCPs again top, not just top 10. Conversation will give you much more information than before because it is now going to talk to you about not only the source destination, it talks to you about the different source ports, destination port, the autonomous system details, the DSCP code involved, all of them under one roof. Yeah. So with that being said, let me go to the next one. So we just discussed about the application traffic and the interface traffic that is there. So top talkers, as I mentioned, is available under the conversation. You can see that information there. So you did notice that certain devices did come up saying IF index. So you might ask, okay, Deepak, what is that? So this basically means you have already you have sent the flows directly from the device. Like you manually typed in the commands and you exported the flow. This is because if you when you do it this way, only the flow packet comes in and we will not be able to find out what is the name of the device because we usually do it using the SNMP credential. So how we do that, again, let me show you. You just need to associate the SNMP in order to eliminate this IF index or the IP address name. So if you do that, then this will be solved. So as you can see, you need to first associate the SNMP credential. So add the SNMP credential in the product and associate it to the device. So it's very simple. Select the device either from here or you can even let me do it from here. Click on the three dots, the menu icon. It says associate SNMP credential. So if I have to add it, I can add it here, or I can simply, if it's already there, find it out from here, test and associate. So it will now come up saying SNMP credential successfully associated, which means the credential is now associated with the device, but we are yet to pull the device details name. So in order to do that, all I have to do is the same process, select the device, menu icon, you have this option that says edit device. So click on it, and you see the option that says fetch a name from router. So this is what we're going to do. We are going to fetch the name from the device. So what is that? You're going to fetch either the description, name, or alias. So we're going with name, and we go ahead with save. So that's all. Once you do that, it is going to fetch the device details and it's going to update automatically. So you can do it for all the devices. There's an option to apply to all devices. You can use that too. So with that being said, let me talk to you about the other topic, which is going to be MediaNet and multicast monitoring. So what are these functions? These are specific to Cisco devices again. So MediaNet basically is going to track all the rich media and audio that's happening in your network, and it's going to report based on that. So the idea is to monitor media-rich traffic such as voice and video traffic to improve the QoE values. Also, you can measure the performance statistics such as jitter, packet loss, and round trip timing. So let me show you how it is done. If your device is sending out the flows, then we can show you that information already. So go to the interface that is managed under, like let's say if the MediaNet device is sending out the traffic, just go ahead and click on the interface. We have a dedicated tab for MediaNet. Upon clicking that, you can now see what are the transactions, as in these are the applications that have been using the rich media audio. You can find that out, and you can see how much media packets have come up and what are the different round trip timing, jitter, packet loss, or if you want to see all under one roof, just go to the conversation. So we'll show you this way. The media packets, the volume involved, round trip timing, jitter minimum, maximum, and average, and the packet loss. So yeah, all of that under one roof. So with that being said, let me talk to the next one, which is multicast traffic. So IP multicasting, what this does is that it allows any particular user or host to send packets to a specific group of hosts, just like this particular meeting that's happening, webinar meeting. So I'm able to transfer packets to this collected group of hosts that is there. So that's what we're doing. So we can track this activity, multicasting, and we can monitor the traffic by usage and speed. Again, if we identify that your device is sending out, or if it can capture the multicast traffic, then we'll be able to show it to you. So let me show you how it is. So this is how it will look. It will compare the traffic between the regular traffic and the multicast traffic, and you can actually see the details here as of what were the transactions or the talkers that have been using for the multicast traffic that is there. Yeah. So that being said, or we'll be looking into the IP SLA monitoring. So as I mentioned, IP SLA is required for a certain purpose. So I'll explain with the scenario. So let's say there are like three uh, like areas. Development center, we have the headquarter that they're trying to communicate to, and the transaction usually goes through your ISP or your internet service provider. So in your development center or your location that you're there, that can be like via phones, IP networking phones, and they're going to connect to a switch router and then to the ISP using WAN, and then connecting to your headquarters that is in a different location. Same way, you can also have any device that is sending out rich media, just like this webinar meeting. And that transaction also goes through this same setup. And you also have a collective group of users, just like your WAN connection. You're going to test that too. So all of these are going to be covered on the IPSLA monitoring. And in order to do this, there's some prerequisites here. I'll explain how it works. So if you're going to use the IPSLA monitoring, you get to choose between VoIP monitoring, PAN monitoring, and video. But in order for this to work, you need to have Cisco routers on both ends, and they should be supporting the latest version of iOS, and it should have the IPSLA module enabled. So once it happens, we will actually be creating this monitor. So you can see on the screen says add VoIP monitor. So this helps you to monitor the voice quality between two remote sites by simulating the traffic, and to analyze details like the latency, mask score, round trip time, packet loss, all of that. So you given the device details, the SNMP, you given the IP. So what we're doing here is we contact the device, the router, and we will be adding a monitor. Like we'll write a script on the device in order to go ahead and collect these monitors. So as I said, when it comes to VoIP, we show you the jitter, round trip timing, and all of that. WAN monitors are similar concept, but we look into the WAN connection. So primarily, we'll be focusing on the round trip timing set is there. Video monitor is a mix and match between these two, so you'll actually get to see the details related to video like jitter, latency, and packet loss. So these are what we look into when it comes to your IPSLA monitoring. So coming to one of the important topics, which is application visibility and control, or in short, AVC. So this is again a proprietary tech that is available with the Cisco devices. So what we do here is that we will be able to provide you visibility into the layer 7 applications, and this is possible using Cisco AVC or the NBAR technology, NBAR 2 technology within Cisco, or any flexible flow like NetFlow version 9 that supports this feature. So as I said, you can also use the advanced NBAR as an NBAR 2 to identify the web traffic, the URLs, the file sharing, and the random port application information. You can also find out things like the, let's say, the hit count, as in the host report. So you can take host-wise information, like domain-wise information, and you can see the information of how much hit has come out. Class hierarchy for your QoS. We also have application response timing to understand how each application has been responding with respect to timing. So in order to enable this, you just need to add the additional commands that are used in the NetFlow version 9 because as you know that they have additional fields. You're going to use that to go ahead and enable the layer traffic. So again, this is not any add-on. This, if your device supports it, we'll be able to show it directly. So let me show it to you. So the information will be collected in this tab called as NBAR. So as you can see, all the layer 7 applications are listed. And if you want to understand how that application has been used up so far, click on it. It's going to give you all the transactions that has happened along with the source port, destination port, protocols. And if you know that it's a non-business critical application and it's like taking up a lot of your bandwidth, you can simply block it using the ports details that is available on the screen. So not just that, as I said, you can also do other things with the tool. Let me show you. The host information that I told you about, and we'll talk about that. So we have this AVC tab that will help you give that information. So HTTP host information is available that breaks down based on the HTTP host. You can get all the details on that as in host-wise information. QoS stats. So application response time is also noted. I think it's there in my other lab. One moment. Okay, there we go. So class-based information. So it gives you the transaction that's there for on an application based. If you want to see it based on the conversation, you can do that too. You have an option to that. And same thing with the ART. So it gives you information about the client package, the server package, and all of that. So with this being said, let's go to the next topic. So monitoring HTTP traffic and ART, which we just discussed. tracking the application that is consuming the most traffic with NBAR. So as I said, you can do that using NBAR, which we just discussed too. So coming to the next topic, which is wireless traffic monitoring. So what we do here is that your wireless LAN controllers, WLCs. So we can have that if they have the ability to send out flows, we can monitor them using our product. So we can monitor primarily Cisco's WLAN Connect controllers. We'll be able to find the top traffic usage by access points, SSIDs, applications, and clients. We can also group your WLANs by SSID so that it's much easier for you to understand the traffic. So to troubleshoot bandwidth spikes by identifying the consumption by SSIDs, finding the top clients, and complete conversation details for selected time frame. Let me show you. So you go to the WLC. You can see that it is again just like your devices and interfaces. We have controllers and access points. So when you go to the access point, you can actually see which of the access points being listed. I can get to any one access point, just like how I saw for the devices. I can now see the traffic both in and out on the same page, showing you about the volume, speed, and packets. Clients are like the users, just like how you have for source and destination, so same way. But instead of getting the host name, we will be providing you the MAC address details that is there. SSID information is available at your disposal. Application, QoS, conversation, just like you've seen before. Again, you can group your SSIDs, so you can even group your access points on a single click. You have the option to do that. So all of them are readily available for you to check. So coming to the next topic, which is customizing NetFlow Analyzer to fit your network. So how do you get to do that is first to understand how you can categorize your daily traffic or traffic usage. So you can either do it based on your departments to understand how it is done. You can do it based on your branches if you have multiple sites. You can even do it based on the subnets or application based or VLAN based. You can do it. So this talking when it comes to this, you can actually do different things, which is the grouping technologies available. So as I said, you can sort traffic by different groups that we have within our product. So I'll show you how the grouping works. So you go to settings, NetFlow, group settings that you see. We show you the different group options that we have. So we have groups like interface, IP, application, DSCP, access points, and SSIDs. So you might ask, why do you need to create a group at the first place? So let me explain. This is allowing you to get like a combined bandwidth usage to understand how your network has been, the bandwidth has been used in a network. So you get some kind of a picture of how your traffic is being used rather than being blank. Um, you can also see like you can provide access to operators. So let's say you are an administrator, but you there is like different sites, and you want to give let's say for site A, you want to give a particular engineer for the access only for site A. He doesn't want, he need the details for site B. So you can create them as an operator, the user access, and you can provide it only for that group. So you are now segregating the data, not only data, you're also giving them the access control based information. Provide better visibility to improve the troubleshooting. So to understand what went wrong, so you can see that there's a high utilization alert, but in order to understand where it's happening, then you can use this method to understand how it is. As I said, you can group the interfaces, you can group even IP addresses. Let me get to it. You have application, DSCP groups, access points, SSIDs or so. So one thing that is actually quite interesting is you can actually group you can make groups based on the IPs. So how that is done, let me show you. Go ahead and click on the add. So you can actually create groups based on just IPs, as in you can do it based on single IP. You can do it for an entire network or a range. Yeah. And you can also do site to site traffic. So from site A to site B, if you want to see the traffic that's happening, you can even create it there. You can even customize it further by adding port and protocol or DHCP that is there. Why this is helpful is because you can now go to inventory. You have IP groups, and just like how you saw for regular devices, you can do like collect information for your groups alone. So same way, this is what I mentioned when I said getting a better visibility for troubleshooting. So now you know that this particular department, how it's been using the data, who are the top users or the top transactions. You have all of them at your disposal. So that's why this is one powerful grouping method. So can I monitor traffic for my custom application? So yeah, every organization might have their own custom application. You can go ahead and map it. In our product, we have this method called as the mapping, where we can map different applications there. We have close to like 11,000 plus mapping already. So how we map application is by using two details. One is the port or the port range, and the second is the protocol. So if you let us know what is the port or port range and the protocol, you can now map your custom application with us. So there are two ways of how you can do it. You can do it from the global setting, which I just showed you, settings, NetFlow, and mapping, or you can do it within the product itself. So let me show you. As in, let's say you're collecting data, you're seeing the transaction that's happening on your interface, and let's say we are seeing it under the application data. So say you'll be going to your interface, you go to the application tab, you see all these applications that are there, and you know that okay, with respect to this application, I think with respect to this port and protocol, and that's actually one of my custom applications. Just go ahead and click on the map, add mapping. Let us know what port it is. Then you can you can map it as an application or service right from here. Just give it a name and the protocol. Yeah. So coming to the next topic, which is what are the top reports of NetFlow Analyzer. So primarily our product is a reporting tool. So when it comes to report, we have a long list of reports that can help you out in real time troubleshooting that is there. So starting with search report, as the name suggests, it is basically a search that you're doing. So you're doing a search for understand specific traffic details by associating the application, the protocol, the host, or the IP address. Let me show you. So you go to reports, NetFlow, first one, search report. So the idea is you are giving us criteria, so using which we can actually go ahead and check the values. So different criteria involved sources like the IP addresses from source, destination, port range, application, DSCPs, the autonomous systems, all of that. You can match up to three different criteria and you can do a search for interfaces, IP groups, interface group, or WLC. You can do a search based on that. You have option to look into in and out traffic or both, and you have custom time frame option or a list of preset timings that you can select and you can do the search for. Compare report, as the name suggests, again, we are just going to compare the bandwidth usage at a different time interval. Not just different time interval, you can do it between different devices itself. So you can compare two different devices for like same time, or if you want to compare the same device for different time. So two ways of how you can do it. You can select between the data points, what time you want, or what value you want to see, like utilization, speed, packet. Want to see that, you can select it, and basically you're just going to compare either two devices at same time. This is for load sharing, you can do it. Second one is comparing same device for different time periods. So let's say if you need to bring down a device um, for a firmware upgrade or so, then you can use this method to understand when the device has been locking traffic less. So at that time you can do it. We have consolidated reports. So the idea is to track the top talkers and conversations within a complete report. So this is one single report that can give you the like the 1 minute average report. It can give you the top sources report. It can give you the top destination information and also the application information, all under one roof. That is going to be this report, which is called as the consolidated report. So you get to choose between which particular interface or so, what entry you want us to see. So one report that will give you all the information. So if you need to project it to your say management so about the particular event that has happened, then you can use this to do that. Inventory report, this is to visualize the combined traffic of all your interfaces, which I'll just discuss in a minute. Billing report, as in like this billing report is to measure bandwidth to verify your ISP billing, or if you are the ISP, you want to create bill plans for your customers, you can use this. So the billing is a highly powerful tool because we keep track of all the flows that's coming in, as in how your device has been using the traffic. So we note down the usage, and we'll be able to report on that. There are two ways of how you can do it. You can do it monthly, or you can make it generate quarterly. And bill type is based on speed or volume. So if you're selecting volume, you let us know what metric that you want to look into. Second, you have all the currencies that is there. What is the base volume? So the, like here in this case, GB. One moment, please. Yeah, so you let us know how much is the base cost, and if additional, as in if I cross that package, how it happens, the additional cost for every increment byte, or how much it is. So this is calculated based on bytes, so please let us know. Or if it's going to be in GB, just put in the subsequent zeros. You can even set out alerts if in case you're going to cross like 80% or so of 30 GB or that is selected here. You can go ahead and do that. And let's say if you are in a country that has different taxes, and you can even let us know what are the different taxes. And once you go to the next step, which is associating the device, you have the last step, which is build schedule. So this will only run on a schedule. If you want to get on demand, just click on the view reports. You have options to find out the on demand reports right there. You can drill down like this, on demand as in to run right now, because usually it's selected to a month. If you want to run it, just click on it. It's going to show you that information that's there. So coming back to the inventory report, so as I mentioned, inventory report is to visualize the overall traffic. So it gives you the option to demarcate in and out based on the traffic type. So let me show you how it is done. So you can now choose between any one particular metric. So volume, speed, or utilization. I say utilization. So you can let us know that like what are the interfaces that have crossed like 50 to 70 like that, and based on that we can tell you how much the traffic has come up, or which of the applications. So as you can see, it's showing me all the devices, the maximum, minimum, average, the link on both the in and out. So this again, you can let us know what value you're looking for, and based on that, we'll show you the volume, speed, or utilization. You can take it as a PDF, CSV, or mail. Options are available right there. Time frames can be changed here on the right. So all of these that you saw are basically like doing giving a criteria, taking out a report. What if we need to save a report? Then if that's the case, then you can use our report profiles. As I mentioned, you can create and save your criteria-based reports that are there and view them at any time. So how do you try to do that is go to the report profiles. So the idea is you're creating a profile so that you can get to it at any given point of time, rather than you putting in the like the criteria again and again. So for this, you need to first add a profile. And while adding a profile, we give you the additional option to filter in different kind of traffic that you want. So first you select what traffic you want. So I say I I need a conversation report. I selected. Again, name is mandatory. So let me put in name. So yeah, the what are the different filters that you can add is you have the option to create an include filter or an exclude filter. As in like if you want to include certain values, or if you don't want to include certain values, you can do that. So when I give like exclude, and if I don't want certain IPs to be listed, I can do that. Or if I don't want to look into a particular protocol, I can do that. So there are the filters. So you first add a profile. Within the profile, you had to add a filter. And once that is done, you go ahead and click on next. It will give you the name details. So if you, let's say I need this application 7 days right now, rather than giving the details, I can simply click on that view reports. It's going to give me the details right away. So rather than you going ahead and giving the command, this is going to save some time. Second is to schedule a report. So you can add a schedule, which is like daily, weekly, or monthly, and you can get an email notification whenever the schedule is done. So you have it here under schedule, add the schedule. So you can do it for different sources. Like we have the interface, IP groups, access points, all of that. You can select which report that you want. There's a catch. Like there are some other than the reports that you see here, the ones that are there within the inventory are also listed here. So you have a long list of all the reports. So you can select them. You can select between PDF or CSV. You have the options to work with once, daily, weekly, or monthly. And as I said, you can get the email notification along with the report that is there. So that's an option you have. You have PDFs as CSV, how many pages per mail. So you can configure almost everything when it comes to you as an email attachment. So coming to one of the like this is one thing that you will actually see a lot because you're going to log into the product. You're going to see this, the dashboard, and the knock view. So talking about dashboard, what we do here is that you go to dashboard. So dashboard is basically a single pane that shows you multiple information at one go. And how is that made possible? Using the different widgets that we have. So each widget has its own purpose. So when I go to traffic summary, it's telling me what are the devices, how many flows are coming in, what are the different interfaces, and let's say what is the status of their interface, whether an interface is this. So as you can see, all these green are they're up. This orange one means the link is up, but it's not sending in flows, which is we noted because we are actually not getting data. If that's the case, so you can check on that. It tells you the recent alarms. It talks to you about other metrics like the top end application. So something like a network snapshot will now tell me what are the devices by high utilization, what are the interface by speed. So the best part is when I know that there is something is high, I can simply click on that device or interface name. It's going to take me directly to that device or interface, depending upon the click that I've done. And not only that, our product can even alert you on the graphs. As in, you can have these widgets that you see. So basically, you saw that there are some graphs there, but our tool can actually show you one more thing, which is going to be the traffic that is happening within a graph. So you can change a value of any widget that is there. So click on the edit. You have different options. So this is showing you for a device. You can make it show for an interface. So entirely it will change. So you can change the metrics of that particular device to show something like this. You see that? You can even interact with it. So not just on the graph inside, you can even interact with this. You can move this around. You can resize them. Best part is you can create one of your choice. Go ahead and click on create new. You give it a name of your choice. Go to next. So we have the different widgets for Netflow Analyzer. So you can select the one that you want. So I say I want traffic, I want conversation, and I want the recent alarms. I go to the next step. This is where we talk about the different users that we have with our product. So we have three types. Administrator, who is like the is like the one read and write user. He can access everything within the tool. And you can also do one more thing, which is the operators. As I said, selective access for each of the users. They get complete control for those scopes that you create. Guest only read access. And once you create them, you will see them here under the custom dashboard. So you have now created using different widgets that you have on. And the knock view is just like a mix and match between different dashboards. So if you see multiple dashboards and if you want them to be projected on a large screen, so you could do that with our tool. So this is called as the knock view or the CCTV view. So you can create it like the setting is there. You create it. You let us know what is the time frame because this keeps rotating at a particular time frame. So this is in a night mode. You can switch it to day mode on a single click. So it's going to talk to you about the different dashboards that you created. All these widgets, you can move them across. You can resize them as I told you. So it works with the timer. You can pause it if you want, or if you want it to be moving automatically after the time frame, it will go to the next step. Yeah, yeah. So with that being said, let's go to the next topic. Setting up alerts. So we have different kind of alerts that we can set up in our tool. So there are two types. We have pre-configured alerts, which are the link down and no flow, meaning if the flow is not coming in, we can send you an alert. This will be sent to you over email. So let me show you settings, NetFlow, alert profiles. So there are two ways. This is real time. So link down is basically if the interface is not sending out flows, we will be able to alert you based on that. We have anytime between 3 minutes to a maximum 30 minutes. If the flow is not coming in, it will send out an alert. It will be an email alert, or if you have Service Desk Plus, which is our IT help desk tool. So if you want to create ticket, you can even do it using the integration with Service Desk Plus. So the second type is the threshold based, as in like if in case you want to set up an alert which is based on the thresholds. How do you get to do that? I'll show you. So you go to add. So you have different metrics that you can source with. I mean the sources. You select the interface. You have the alert criteria, so you can look into in traffic, out traffic, or both. Now you can select the threshold, which is going to be utilization, volumes, PR packet. So in our case, it was high utilization we're looking at. So let's say 80% is reaching almost 3 times within the last 30 minutes. Then I need to send out a high severity alert. High severity is critical in our product. So trouble is mid and attention is least. What are the different ways of how you can get alerted is we have email. So you have email that you can send to your email address, or if you want to add your colleague, just put a comma and you can add it too. You have an option to send out SNMP traps, SMS to your phone, and this is possible using the different gateways that's there. And log etiquette is again integration with Service Desk Plus. So you can now customize different kind of alerts or different kind of thresholds, and based on that, the action will be performed. So that is the real-time alert that we have. We do have another kind of alert that's called as the aggregated, meaning this is like the event is generated when the total number of packets crosses a particular time. So let's say you have limited data and you're letting us know that, okay, I have only like 1000 GB that is there for my client. And if he crosses like 800 GB of them, so send me an alert. So you can select the different interfaces and all of that. So you can set it up for a custom time period or periodic. So like every month. So from the first, it will keep calculating how much data you've used. So if you're going to cross for in or out or both, if you're crossing something like 800 GB, as I told you, in that's the case, then you can send out an alert. So you can send the alert same way you can set it up. So the previous one was a real time. It's happening right now. We send out an alert. This one is going to be like we keep adding it cumulative, and that's when we send out the alert. So that's going to be the aggregated. So as you can see, thresholds based on multiple conditions. You select the source, you select the criteria, define the threshold, and then save the alert profile. Yeah. So there can be scenarios where you can actually try to find out where or why your high bandwidth utilization is high. If you are a network engineer, that can be quite a difficult task because you basically will only be coming up with users who would be saying, you know, there's like, I'm not able to use my system, it's very slow or so. So how do you get to identify it? That's why you need Netflow Analyzer in order to identify where the issue is and how to rectify it. So the reporting tool will help you with it. As you can see, we have this network, we have the switches, the firewalls, and all of that. And to the core router, there's one switch and gets connecting to a server. So if you don't have like Netflow Analyzer, so you will not be able to find out where exactly this issue is coming up from. But within our tool, you can find it out within seconds. And let's say if you have set up alert profiles, you don't even need to go to UI. You will get the email alert directly. But assuming that you've not done it, let me tell you how you can go ahead and find it out. So identifying the source of the congestion is the very first thing to understand. So you can do it just by a single thing. Log into the product and go to inventory and go to interfaces. So we have all of these metrics. As you can see, it's going to show whether any one particular in and out is going to be high. So that is the first point that you can go ahead for troubleshooting. So when you understand that, you go ahead and click on it and then find out which source or application or destination that the traffic was very high for. And using the source details destination, you can go ahead and block the port. So that's the first approach. But if you want it to be automatic, let's say if you're not going to be near the UI, simply go ahead and click on the alert profile, set up an alert profile so that if any of the interface that's going to be high utilization, you will simply get an email alert and that will be much more easy for you to understand. As I said, finding how do you solve this issue is finding out which part of the network is affected, identifying the source of the congestion, and with the information provided in Netflow Analyzer, you can simply go ahead and troubleshoot the issue within a matter of seconds. So it's going to, clear the clutter and going to help you figure out the solution within a few seconds. So talking about one of the last topics, which is the distributed monitoring. So in our tool, we have distributed monitoring, as I said, because there are two editions in our product. One is going to be the essential or the standalone. The second type is called as enterprise. So enterprise offers a solution this way, where let's say you have multiple sites, remote sites, and they don't have connectivity between each other. Like let's say you have three sites there across the globe and they don't have connectivity, but they act as a single like collector. So if that's the case, then you can set up a collector. So this collector is basically like a standalone. It's going to work in that particular remote site, but what it's going to do is using your central server. Central server means this is the one that will be there in your head office, and using this you can manually like see the details that's happening on each of these collectors, because it's going to have a secure network and you can see it based on the web client, where you can report and look into the data that's off. So this is the distributed setup. Let me actually show you how it is. So this is our central server. You can how it's central. You can see it's a C. If it's a collector, it will say probe or the collector. So it's actually I have one collector alone. So as you can see, I can select which collector I want to see. If I have more than one, I can simply put all collectors. It's going to show me all the details. So if you go to this setting, collector details, it's actually telling me how many. So within this collector, I have two routers, three interfaces, and what the flow rate is 520, and I can monitor that right away. So just on a single click, you can actually get to that collector. Let me show you how. Go to dashboard, go to collectors. Now click on this. It's going to take me to that UI. So if you want to you can actually do everything from here by selecting this. But if you want to manually get into that UI, you can do that too. That's something there with the tool. So distributed monitoring is also part of the product. But as I said, please make sure that you select which edition you want, because standalone is called as essential, and the enterprise is the distributed solution that is there. So distributed monitoring is one more thing. So let's say you are one customer who's already interested in enterprise. What if I don't need to like manually install the product again and go through the process? We brought in this new solution where you can actually go ahead and convert your essential edition into an enterprise. But in order for this to do, there are some prerequisites, as in like you need to like if you go ahead and convert it, what will happen is your essential or your standalone will now become a central server with an inbuilt collector. So central will have its own collector within the same server, but it is not recommended. It's always best you have another collector on a different machine. So this is available within the settings. I'll show you. So you go to settings, NetFlow, and you see this distributed monitoring. So this is something that will actually enable it. So just to let you know, a quick reminder, if you go ahead and enable the distributed mode, you cannot switch back to essential. It's a one-way route only. Once you do this, it will become it will become an enterprise solution. It will become a central server. And once that is done, you need to actually get the enterprise license in order for the product to work. Okay, this is a simpler approach rather than you setting it everything up from the scratch. But if you're going to do this, please reach out to our support. We will guide you with the steps, and we'll guide you through the entire process itself. Okay. So a quick summary of what we've discussed so far. Yeah, so we did see what exactly is NetFlow Analyzer, what are the different features that we have, the different monitoring that is possible with that tool. We also saw about the traffic metrics that are calculated, the reports that are available in our product, different alerts that you can set up, the dashboards, and also we did have a quick overview on the enterprise solution that's available with that tool. We would like to inform you that customers who have already purchased the product, you have an option to get a $25 gift card from us. So how is that possible is if you can go ahead and share your experience on Gartner's review website. So as you can see, Network Analyzer is actually being rated as one of the best products for network monitoring, as in like bandwidth monitoring there. If you have similar experience that you want to share, all you have to do is just go to the bit.ly link that you see, http bit.ly/itom_review. So it will take you to the review page. It will take you to the Gartner page, that is. So once you fill in your Gartner review, just come back to us in this link. paste the details, and once we verify it, we will be sending you a personalized $25 gift card right to your account. So the upcoming training is at the same time next week at October 15th. We will be discussing about some advanced functionalities. This mainly will be on the network security and the troubleshooting. So we'll be looking into the network forensics as in one of our most powerful reports that is possible. We have security analytics with NetFlow Analyzer. We have predicting and planning bandwidth needs using the capacity planning reports. We have bandwidth optimization that is possible, where you can tweak the bandwidth that is used. And we have new features and updates because from the last, the training session, we have included a lot of new features. As I told you, NetFlow Generator is very new, where you can now go ahead and monitor devices that actually don't support flow at all. So flow-based devices or no flow-based devices, you can now monitor them both. So please do tune in same time next week to discuss all of these features. And it has been a pleasure having you here with the training session. Thank you and have a nice day. Oh, sorry, one last thing to mention. If you do need more help, you have all these links that you can provide because we have this YouTube channel that not only has the recorded session of this meeting, but you also have some short videos of how you can add devices, how you can tweak some settings within the product. It's our YouTube channel, youtube.com/opmanagertechvideos. We have the help document, which is available at help.netflowanalyzer.com. Our technical community is available at forums.manageengines.com/netflowanalyzer. If you are a customer or looking to go ahead and evaluate the product, you can send us an email if you want assistance. It's going to be netflowanalyzer-support@manageengine.com, and any sales related queries. So let's say if you want a quote or so, just go ahead and you can drop an email to sales@manageengine.com. The numbers of US, if you want to call us, it's 888-720-9500. And again, if you want the numbers, you can just go to our site. It's available right there. We also have chat icons if you have, if you want to raise a chat to get a quick question answered. So you can do that too. So with this being said, I would like to thank each and every one of you who has joined in for the session, and we'll be meeting soon on the next week. Thank you. Have a great day.